My sister-in-law called it a harmless prank, but she ignored my son's deadly allergy. Now her daughter lives in fear, and we've cut ties for good. My name is Emily. I'm 32, and I've been married to my husband Jay, who's 33, for 6 years. We have a 4-year-old son, Agent. Yes, we're Game of Thrones fans. Please don't come for me in the comments. My relationship with Jay's family, however, is far from smooth. They've never fully accepted me, partly because I'm not from the same culture as them. They're very religious, while I lean towards being agnostic. They blame me for Jay's drift from their faith, but the truth is, Jay made those choices long before we met. Over time, things have improved with my mother-in-law, Mile. After Agent was born, she started visiting more, and as we spent time together, we began to understand each other better. While we're not close, we're cordial, and she adores again. My father-in-law, Paul, mostly stays out of family drama, which I appreciate. Overall, things have been better. My biggest issue lies with Jay's older sister, Joanna, who's 40. Joanna has a 5-year-old daughter, Rachel. 2 years ago, Joanna's husband left her after discovering she had an affair with his best friend. It was a messy divorce, with her husband, Noel, fighting hard for custody of Rachel. Ultimately, Joanna retained primary custody, while Noel got Rachel on weekends. During that chaotic time, Jay and I supported Joanna despite not condoning her actions. I even offered to watch Rachel while she sorted her affairs. Since Rachel and Aegon were close in age, they enjoyed each other's company, and the arrangement worked well for everyone. However, when Joanna took Rachel back full-time, Rachel was upset, and Joanna misinterpreted it as Rachel preferring me over her. Despite my reassurances, Joanna's insecurity grew, and she accused me of trying to steal her daughter. This escalated to the point where Jay intervened, calling Joanna ungrateful for our help. Joanna then went low contact with us, hurting me because the kids suffered due to her behavior. Unbeknownst to Joanna, Noel continued bringing Rachel over on weekends so the kids could play. When Joanna eventually found out, there was a dramatic confrontation, but our in-laws intervened, convincing her to let the kids spend time together. The kids' bond deepened, and we all settled into a routine where Rachel and Aegon alternated visits. Things seemed fine, but recent events have shattered that peace. 2 days ago, I fell ill. Jay was out of town for work, and my in-laws were on vacation. I called Joanna to cancel Rachel's visit, explaining that I wasn't feeling well. To my surprise, Joanna offered to take Agent for the day and even suggested a sleepover at her place with Rachel. Grateful, I agreed, thinking it would give me time to rest. Joanna picked Agent up around noon, promising to keep me updated. Trusting her, I crashed into bed and slept deeply. I awoke to a missed call from Joanna and immediately answered when she called again. I heard crying on the other end. It was Rachel. She frantically told me that Agent was covered in hives and his face was swollen. Panicking, I rushed to the hospital, where doctors confirmed an allergic reaction. Agent has a severe nut allergy, and I'd made it clear to everyone to avoid nuts around him. Joanna, however, claimed he hadn't eaten anything with nuts. Rachel then tearfully revealed that Joanna had forced Agent to eat a peanut butter sandwich despite Rachel's protests. She said Joanna called her a greedy little bitch and dismissed her warnings about Agent's allergy. Joanna even went so far as to force-feed Aegon the sandwich, saying it was just a harmless prank. Furious, I slapped Joanna in the hospital, and she tried to retaliate before being restrained. Rachel clung to me, terrified of her mother. Noel arrived to comfort Rachel, and we discussed what to do next. Rachel recounted the events, and Noel recorded Joanna's admission of guilt during a subsequent conversation. Joanna's actions weren't just reckless. They were malicious. Jay and I decided to involve Child Protective Services for Rachel's safety. CPS acted swiftly, removing Rachel from Joanna's custody and placing her with Noel permanently. Joanna's outbursts revealed she was more concerned about losing child support than her daughter's well-being. Rachel has been attending therapy to process the trauma, while Agent is recovering well, blissfully unaware of the seriousness of the situation. Joanna's behavior has fractured the family further. My mill sympathizes with Joanna, much to my frustration, but my file has expressed regret for not believing us sooner. Despite the tension, Jay and I have made it clear that Joanna is no longer welcome in our lives. We blocked her attempts to contact us and warned our in-laws to respect our boundaries. Joanna's latest stunt was trying to take Rachel from school, prompting Noel to consider a restraining order. While I'd prefer to stay out of the ongoing drama, I know Joanna's actions could escalate further. For now, We're focused on supporting Rachel and Egan, ensuring they feel safe and loved in the aftermath of Joanna's recklessness. This ordeal has strengthened my resolve to protect my family at all costs, even if it means cutting ties with those who threaten our well-being. After the hospital incident, I couldn't shake the anger I felt towards Joanna. How could someone knowingly endanger a child's life? Rachel's bravery in speaking up weighed heavily on my mind. A 5-year-old shouldn't have to carry that kind of burden. Jay and I knew we had to take immediate action to protect both children. We contacted CPS and provided them with all the evidence we had, including Noel's recording of Joanna's confession. The officer we spoke to seemed genuinely concerned, especially given Joanna's blatant disregard for Agent's life-threatening allergy. They assured us they would investigate promptly. 2 days later, CPS visited Joanna's home. As expected, Joanna lashed out, accusing us of conspiring against her. She even sent me a vile text saying she should have finished the job when she had the chance. That message was the final straw. I blocked her, but Jay decided to keep his lines open to monitor her behavior. He called her immediately after receiving the text, unleashing his fury and warning her to stay away from us. Meanwhile, our in-laws were pulled into the chaos. Neil initially tried to defend Joanna, claiming she was under stress and didn't mean any harm. But once we played the recording for her and Phil, they couldn't deny the gravity of her actions. Phil apologized for doubting us and expressed his disappointment in Joanna. Mill, however, seemed torn, still clinging to the idea that Joanna deserved another chance. Jay and I made it clear that our priority was Agent and Rachel's safety, not Joanna's redemption. Rachel's transition to living with Noel full-time wasn't without challenges. She had nightmares and often blamed herself for what happened. Seeing her struggle broke my heart. To help her heal, we made sure she knew she wasn't at fault. We also continued her playdates with Agent, ensuring she felt loved and supported. Rachel even made heartfelt apology cards for all of us, which I treasured deeply. The ordeal brought Jay and me closer. His unwavering support and determination to protect our family reminded me why I married him. We spent hours discussing how to rebuild a sense of normalcy for the kids. Agent, thankfully, seemed unfazed by the incident. He often talked about the fun hospital ride, blissfully unaware of how close we came to losing him. Despite everything, Joanna's behavior grew more erratic. She tried to take Rachel from school, prompting Noel to escalate his custody case. The school's quick intervention prevented any harm, but the incident underscored the need for a restraining order. Noel hesitated, torn between protecting Rachel and acknowledging Joanna's role as her mother. Ultimately, he prioritized Rachel's safety, filing for the order to ensure Joanna couldn't disrupt their lives further. Through it all, I've reflected on the importance of boundaries and standing firm against toxic behavior. Joanna's actions were a wake-up call, showing me the lengths I'm willing to go to protect my family. While I hope Rachel continues to find happiness and stability with Noel, I've accepted that Joanna can no longer be part of our lives. The safety and well-being of our children will always come first, no matter the cost.